WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Uncertainty surrounding the future of Pickens County Schools is fueling rumors of consolidation and closures.
Our Victoria Bailey was in West Alabama today and found that it's just a rumor, at least for now. She joins us in the studio to separate fact from fiction.
That's right, guys. Right now, consolidation of some kind in Pickens County School District is possible, but not anytime soon. That according to Superintendent Jamie Hickman, who says declining enrollment will make for some tough decisions in the future.
Rumor, speculation has been running widespread this year, more so than ever.
What people are talking about is the possible closing of Alice Middle and possibly reorganizing Pickens County High School, with students being relocated. However, Pickens County School Superintendent Jamie Chapman says that's simply not the case.
Declining enrollment, people get a little antsy and they start talking about a consolidation or whatever. Our board has had no consolidation discussions, and we will look at the data, and we will talk to the public about it in the community meetings. We'll try to put some fears to rest.
Aliceville City Councilman Terrence Wyndham says the fear came from one of the community's State of the School meetings the district hosts throughout the year.
On March the 12th, we had a meeting with the Pickens County School Board. They were doing their roundtable where they go to each school, and they were explaining some different scenarios. Some of those scenarios included eliminating the middle school, and that's what a lot of the citizens are concerned about.
The district is under consent decree of Lee versus Macon, which addresses desegregation of schools and requires the district to present any decisions regarding consolidation or redistricting to the Department of Justice for approval.
We're to that point in Aliceville of what we would be allowed to do, and it's basically driven by the number of 250 kids. When you get under 250 kids in a school population, you're not very efficient with resources and spending, and your per pupil costs rise greatly. And at Aliceville Middle School, we're at 240 this time. And at Pickens County High School, we're at 220. So we're going to have some difficult conversations.
The State of the School meetings show data to the community, including teacher units earned, state and federal funding, and student enrollment numbers. Wyndham says transparency is key, but there are other areas of concern in the district,
such as the low number, the failing school list that high school is on, and then also with our K through 3 reading levels. We want those to increase as well.
The next State of the School meeting is tonight at Pickens County High School starting at 7 p.m. Joey.
A woman who runs a popular blog about all things Tupelo has a word of warning for Facebook users. Lauren McElwain started the Tupelo Bloggers Facebook site a year ago. About 2 weeks ago, McElwain realized the page, along with some food-related blogs and her personal Facebook page, had been stolen. The sites were taken over by a man claiming to be from Saudi Arabia. McElwain was able to work with Facebook to find a solution.
And I realize it's a first world problem. I know that there are situations in the world that are much worse than losing your Facebook account, but at the same time, I just don't want somebody out there acting like they're me. I mean, it's just a terrible feeling, and to know that somebody just has control of your photos of your family, that's just not cool.
McElwain encourages Facebook users to back up all of their photos and use the security and login features. All right, time now to turn things over to meteorologist Amanda Reynolds. She has a first look at our forecast.
Yeah, a little bit of a chilly evening out there across much of the area right now in Columbus. 49 degrees. Strong westerly winds are starting to turn northwesterly, so that will keep us fairly cool as we go into the overnight hours. But right now you can go join the National Weather Service in Memphis and Calhoun City about a half an hour from now. They'll be doing a spotter training class, but another chilly evening is in store. More details in your forecast in just a few minutes.
Over the weekend, 2 tragic situations happened in our viewing area involving young children.
Yeah, in one case, a 9-year-old Monroe County boy allegedly shot and killed his 14-year-old sister. And in Union County, a child was an eyewitness to his father's fatal shooting. Our Jory Talley joins us in the studio with more.
Mental health experts say the devastating situations leave behind traumatic impacts on the children, and the effects aren't just emotional, they can also be physical.
The accused shooter in the deadly Monroe County incident over the weekend is a 9-year-old boy. Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says it's a case where you're not sure if the child even understands what he's done.
At some point, though, he is going to realize that when he gets a little older and just think about his life, what he's going to have to deal with in his life, knowing what he's done.
Seasoned mental health expert John McClendon says he's worked with many adults who have experienced childhood trauma.
A lot of times problems can tend to pop up as they get older, so it's a good idea to sort of be there for when they're ready.
Dr. Keith Watson is going on 16 years as a pediatrician and says the traumatic situations leave children dealing with mental distress.
The stress on their mind of dealing with that and trying to grasp the understanding of a death, which is hard for an adult.
Watson says that in addition to depression, worry, and psychological problems, the trauma can also lead to physical illness.
Recurrent headaches, abdominal pain, post-traumatic stress disorder, nightmares. It can translate to poor sleep, poor school performance. It can become acting out.
However, with all of that being said, McClendon says studies show children tend to bounce back a lot quicker than adults.
For whatever reason, whether it be physically, emotionally, children are a lot more resilient, I think, a lot of times than adults. Maybe it's because of their developmental level and they just don't understand the severity of maybe what's happened.
Mental health experts encourage children who have gone through such situations to see a therapist. Also reached out to District Attorney John Weddle to find out if any charges would be filed in the Monroe County shooting case. He declined to comment.
He's a coach's dream.
Choctaw High School mourns the loss of beloved defensive lineman Mo Hardin. And coming up, hear the story of the legacy he's left behind.
Welcome back, everyone. In small communities, a loss is felt by almost everyone. That is surely the case today in Choctaw County.
Early this morning, Choctaw County High School senior Mo Hardin passed away after complications following a liver transplant. Our Parker King talks to the team's coaches and teammates today. He joins us live in the studio with more.
Hardin had been at Batson Children's Hospital in Jackson since December, recovering from the transplant. From what we've been told, he never lost his positive attitude and spirit during that time. And that's only one of the reasons friends say he'll never be forgotten. Emotions swept over Choctaw County High School as students and faculty were informed early Tuesday morning about the passing of senior Mo Hardin.
There's a deep hole to fill in this school and this community as a result of this.
For us to understand what Hardin meant to this student body, we talked to some of those who knew him best, his teammates.
He put a smile on my face every time we practiced, every time he was on the field. It's a sight to see when you get to play with such a great player like that.
He was a wonderful person, always had a smile. He encouraged people to do better.
Hardin was a part of the Ware-Ackerman consolidation 5 years ago, but never played for Ware. He spent all 4 of his years here at Dale Davidson Field. In his senior season, Hardin led his team in both sacks and tackles for loss.
I never even saw, a person like him before. Like, defense, amazing.
He was by far one of the best linemen we've ever had come through this county, I believe, because he had so much heart and just so much dedication to what he did.
From the time Hardin was hospitalized for his liver transplant to only a short time before he passed, head football coach Ben Ashley said Mo was still Mo.
He never lost faith. When I got to go see him 2 or 3 times in the hospital, he always had this very electric smile, and he could fill up a room with it.
Through Ashley's near 20-year career as a coach, he's made a point of giving a small speech to all of his players.
One of the coolest things about football is it allows people's paths to cross that might not otherwise get to. And I'm very thankful that I got to cross paths with Mo.
For the seniors, they say Hardin's legacy will live on through the younger players he inspired.
Everybody looked up to Mo. You know, Mo set a great example.
He's all just going to be in our heads all day and all for the rest of the school year. I mean, we're never going to forget him. It's going to be more than a miss.
In Choctaw County, Parker King, WCBI News. And funeral arrangements have not yet been made for Hardin.
Well, the chilly air now back into our area. Will be down into the low 40s by the time we get to midnight and the low 30s overnight. But there is a warm up in store. More details coming up in just a few minutes.
Your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Amanda Reynolds.
A cool and cloudy afternoon across much of northeast Mississippi, but here in downtown Tupelo, you can see that back edge of the clouds just now beginning to push in. So we'll start to clear out as we go through the next few hours. Right now, most of us hanging out right around 50 degrees, a few areas back into the upper 40s. These are actually our lows for most of us so far today. We hit our highs pretty much at midnight. Most of us were up in the 60s at that point. You can join the National Weather Service in Memphis and Calhoun City. That's tonight at 6:30. So just about 10 minutes from now, if you're out there, you can go join them and get a little bit of hands-on spotter training up there. But speaking of severe weather, we did have quite a bit of severe weather move through last night. In fact, in our area, quite a bit of hail as well as a tornado report. This was just north of Belmont over in Tishomingo County, rated as an EF0. You can see those two pictures. We have more on our social media pages about this, but notice quite a few storm reports across the northern tier of Mississippi and Alabama and even into parts of central Georgia. Numerous tornadoes reported with that over in Alabama, but we also had quite a bit of hail here in our area. All quiet here as we go forward through the rest of this evening. Again, those clouds will start to clear over the next few hours. Will be mostly clear overnight as temperatures drop down into the low 30s. But plenty of sunshine arrives for the day tomorrow. Again, we will continue to see that slow warming trend through the rest of the week, so we won't be this cool for long, but we'll also have the chance at some showers and we'll have a warmer, much warmer weekend ahead. So again, tonight we'll be down into the low and mid 30s, especially cooler further to the north, and that has prompted a frost advisory pretty much for areas just north of US 82, so the entire northern tier here of Mississippi. That goes until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So again, plenty of sunshine. Will be around 60 degrees in the afternoon, but we will keep some breezy northwesterly winds. That'll make it feel quite a bit cooler, but high pressure settles over the region for the next several days and will stay nice and sunny and clear, but more clouds will build in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we get our next chance for rain. So again, if you're looking for spring, it's not too far away. We'll be in the 70s by Friday and then especially into the weekend, but once again, we'll have the chance for more showers and even some thunderstorms by the time we get to Monday.
Coming up, we're talking everything Mississippi State, from spring football to men's and women's basketball. That's coming up next in sports.
CBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The first football practice of the Joe Moorhead era underway at Mississippi State. The Bulldogs took the field for their first spring practice of 2018. You saw Nick Fitzgerald back on the field, heavily taped to that right ankle, but still
Involved in practice, you see Kylan Hill right there. Early enrollees Stephen Guidry, Wap Jason, West Point's own Marcus Murphy enjoying their first real practice wearing the maroon and white. There you see Marcus Murphy fielding a punt. This Saturday's practice, by the way, 11:15 a.m. will be open to the public. Fletcher Cox won't be there, but he was at practice today. Fans will be able to view MSU for the first and only time as practice open to the public for that day coming up Saturday. We'll have more with the Bulldogs coming up tonight on WCBI Sports. Well, it was another banner evening for Hail State Hoops as the Bulldogs advanced to their third consecutive Sweet 16. Today was a banner day for Associate Head Coach Johnny Harris, who was named the Women's Basketball Coaches Association D1 Assistant Coach of the Year. Harris has spent the last 5 years as the Associate Head Coach for Vic Schaefer. Her devotion and effort to building the program has been instrumental as Mississippi State celebrated the work done in front of their fans for a final time this season at the Hump as MSU bid farewell to their supporters in the Magnolia State.
Years went on, they started falling in love with us, they started bringing people, and then those people started bringing more people, and then we started selling out the Hump. So it's just been great. I can't thank them enough. I wish I can get to everyone in Hump when they want pictures and autographs, just to let them know that we appreciate them.
Those fans are in there to see these kids. These kids deserve all the credit, how they play the game, how they honor the game. I've said that 1,000,000 times in here. You look up there and find T, she's usually got a baby in each arm. The kids, you need to commend these kids.
It's been growing as we grow, so I feel like it's been amazing just watching them, watching the fans grow, and also watching my teammates grow at the same time. And I feel like Coach Schaefer and the coaching staff have built this program, so I feel like we deserve the fans we get, and I feel like we play like how our fans want to play. We just not out there playing pretty ball. We playing hard ball, and they deserve to see that just as well. We deserve them to be in the stands cheering for us.
Speaking of Mississippi State hoops, the Bulldog men in action tonight at Louisville. A win, and MSU is on to New York City for the NIT semifinals. Ben Howland knows any postseason basketball, good postseason basketball for his young team, and he hopes his team has built up momentum following the win at Baylor. But the road success started all the way back in January with that win at South Carolina.
That was the first road win, and but we've had some other games we played well on the road and not won. So I think we're improving and developing as a team. That's been good.
MSU in action tonight at 8 on ESPN against Louisville. It's Kids Day, the annual Kids Day at Ole Miss today, playing their early afternoon game for Ole Miss baseball. They were hosting New Orleans. Bottom two, bases loaded. Anthony Servideo, this little dribbler, going to get towards second, and a wee wild toss to first that would score Tyler Keenan. You see right there, Will Golson scored before that. Rebels take a 3-0 lead after two. In the third, Thomas Dillard keeps swinging that hot bat. This one going oppo, and you are so not catching this one. Solo shot to right. It'll be a 4-0 lead after three for the Rebels. Will Golson, great day at the dish, went 2 for 4 with a double and a triple. Here you see the double. He also had an RBI. Rebels win it 9-4. They're now 20-2. Overall, they play Texas A&M coming up this weekend, by the way. And lastly, over at Amory early this morning, Peyton Avery committed to play soccer at ICC next year. He led the Panthers to the 4A state championship game this past season and also led the team with assists with 12. So congratulations to Peyton. That's it for sports. We'll get a last look at your forecast next.
Well, we'll be sunny, but still fairly cool tomorrow, around 60 degrees, but strong northwesterly winds will keep it feeling cooler. But spring is not too far away. We'll be in the 70s by the time we get to Friday and the weekend.
Sunny and 60, that's what I like.
Exactly. I was going to say sunny is the key word.
Keyword.
All right, thanks for joining us, everyone.